Hello everyone, I'm Tony Chen. Welcome to this number 13 test for the second grammar trick on relative construction types. So let's get started. Types, formal types. These three relatives. Relatives represents the two kinds of construction, clause and phrase. That's for relatives. You'll be glad to take the cradle, which you don't want. Use which, WH relative, or WH pronoun. And that you don't want. Yeah, something missing. Subordinator, subordinator. Something missing, the antecedent, cradle. Which? The antecedent is cradle. And for this one, something missing is kind of marker that indicates is a relative clause. And the antecedent for this missing part, cradle. Okay, relational types. Relational types, 4 kinds. Integrated, let's check. The boy who defaced the statue, yeah. Were expelled, yeah. Antecedent for this. So now the fastest person, the rich means the rich person. So the fastest means the fastest person that is ever been. Yeah, ever been the fastest person. The missing part is representing this. So this is the antecedent for the missing part. Well, that isn't too expensive. Can we eat? We can move the relative clause to the end of the clause. That's postpose. We can postpose it. We can postpose a relative clause to the end of a main clause. That's fine. Yep. And this is acting as subject, so we've got to use that. Is ever been SPC? Is ever been SPC? So, not subject for the missing part. Subordinator, optional. Yep. Or you can use which. If you don't want to use which, you can use that. And for this one, it's optional. So you can say which is optional. My father, who resigned last year, now lives in Shenzhen. Yep. The relative clause can be downgraded to become a supplementary. Supplementary. And for supplementary, it's kind of additional information. Additional information. For this whole clause or for the anchor. For the anchor. That's additional information. It was Tony who wanted Bernard's treasure. Yep. Cleft. Cleft. So this is SPC for the subject. It pronoun, dummy pronoun, acting as a dummy subject. So the real body of the subject is a here. So they are kind of the relative clause modifying this antecedent. But in fact, this is the SPC for the subject. This is the real body for the dummy part, dummy subject. So they are kind of two semantically just modifying, and two syntactic relations with each other. Yep. What you ask is quite right. The thing which you ask. Missing is which, and the antecedent for which is the first part, the thing. So antecedent and WH. Combined, merged, fused, relative, fuse relative. Yep, integrated is to modify or to limit the antecedent. The antecedent set, yeah, it could be a set. Could be a set. Yeah, a phrase. Supplementary, just adding information. Just adding information. So it's not that important. You don't have to use. It's supplementary. It doesn't matter for the main clause. My father now lives. Yeah. And for cleft. Yeah. Foregrounded. Yeah, Tony. Foregrounded. Foregrounded. And this is backgrounded. And the backgrounded part is the real body for the subject, for the dummy subject. In cleft structure. Yeah. We call it cleft. Cleft structure. So regarding supplementary, let's learn some more. Supplementary, let's check. Bob is afraid of spiders, which I'm sure Tony is too. Yeah, missing part. Missing part is which? In the antecedent for the missing part is this one. So it's an adjective phrase, acting as SPC, subjective PC, for this subject. So for the missing part, its antecedent is this one. For the WH pronoun, the antecedent is this one. Bob is afraid of spiders, which doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah, the which means this whole main clause. So for supplementary, it's a lot flexible. For supplementary, the relative pronoun is much more flexible. It can represent a noun phrase or even a whole clause. The cleft relative, let's check. This is the original clause. Tony wanted Verna as treasure. Okay, if we want to choose this one to be foregrounded, it was Tony. Yeah, wanted Verna as treasure. If you want to choose this one as the foregrounded part, it was Verna. Yeah, that Tony wanted as treasure. Good. So it cleft structure. It cleft structure. Wanted? Yep. Yep. Who Tony wanted? Verna. Who Tony wanted Verna? Yes. Subject. A subject. And feels relative. Let's check some more. Noun phrase, acting as subject. Yeah, what it did. The thing which. The thing which. So missing part is which. And the antecedent is the thing. The thing. So this part is fused. Antecedent and WH pronoun. Both of them. Fused. And this whole. It's a phrase. It's a phrase. Acting as subject. Whatever device this plan must be very genius. The person who, yeah, for who the antecedent is the person. Inside this feels relative. You can buy something, which you can buy anything, anything, whichever toy appeals to you most. Yeah. Which toy? Which toy? So anything. Which? Yeah. For the which, the antecedent is anything. So inside this. So it's fused. Fused. And this is acting as subject. Yeah, for this one. You mean abandoning that which? Yeah, that which can be combined. Can be combined. So this is a fused relative. Put it back, the place where you found it. Yep, the place where. Fused relative. And this whole thing is acting as an adjunct. So we can say it's a PP acting as an adjunct. How about this? Subordinate clause. Okay, you can find it somewhere. So the missing part is an adjunct. That's the second part. Where you found it. Where you found it. So inside this subordinate clause, the missing part is the adjunct. And for the whole clause, it's again an adjunct. PP acting as adjunct. Because for new grammar, we can treat will as a preposition. So for new grammar, it's a PP. It still calls his parents the time when he's in trouble. Yeah, when is acting as adjunct inside this clause. And this whole thing is again acting as adjunct. PP acting as adjunct. Yeah, because when is a preposition in new grammar. Finiteness. Okay, to infinitive. Infinitival. Relative construction. Let's check. A good place adjunct. Adjunct. From which? What's the possession? Yep. Again. To watch the possession from there, from some place. So inside here, this is an adjunct. You use to infinitive here. If you want to begin this with to infinitive, you still have to use this at the end to watch the possession from. Yep. So nothing is missing. But for typical finite clause, something is missing except for subject. But for infinitival relative clause, nothing is missing. That's typical for infinitival relative clause. Yep. With WH relatives or without WH relatives. Yep. Two kinds of two infinitive acting as relative clause. Other non-finite. Okay. For ing form of a verb or PP form of a verb, they can also be used as a modifier or dependent, modifying this previous noun. Yeah, two other kinds, except for the two. And the three of them are of non-finite. So regarding finiteness, we have finite and we have non-finite relative construction. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next minor trait. Bye-bye.